Hello everyone, welcome to GATE Academy and Unacademy. So hope all are doing well. So myself Akash Jaiswal and I am discussing about the syllabus and important topics and upcoming topics which are important for GATE examination for of production engineering. Okay, so in production engineering, as we know that this subject is very important for GATE and other competitive examination. So most of these question like 16 to 20 marks will be covered in GATE examination for this subject production engineering. So this subject is very important. So in pen drive, G drive, VOD tablet users, this production engineering subjects will be covered in very good manners. So which topics are covered in first chapters. So chapter 1 is nothing but theory of metal cutting. So as we know that theory of metal cutting is very important for GATE examination. So in theory of metal cutting, lecture 1, single point, double point and multi cutting tool, that is covered in 18 minutes 51 seconds. Basis of machining, that is orthogonal machining and oblique machining, that is covered in 36 minutes 40 seconds. Geometry of single cutting tool, discuss on rack angle, clearance angle, MCQ of IES and GATE, types of machining part 1, types of machining part 2 and MCQ, geometry of single point turning tool part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4, tool designation. So tool designation, that is ASA and ORS signature, all are covered in 26 minutes 5 seconds. Okay, shear angle, that is nothing but phi. So what is the shear angle? What is the physical significance of shear angle during machining? Okay. Next, MCQ on shear angle, cutting shear strength and cutting velocity. So cutting velocity, that is V. Okay, and different types of velocities are given during machining like cutting velocity, shear velocity and chip velocity. Okay. Next one is shear strength rate, MCQ of IS and GATE questions. Forces in turning operation, uncut chip thickness and width of chip in turning, types of chip part 1, part 2, types of chip part 3, types of chip part 4 and MCQ of IS. So IS problem is very important because of in production engineering, in GATE examination, production engineering parts, both numerical and theoretical questions are important. So that if you can solve IES problem, so definitely you can solve these GATE questions, GATE theoretical questions, not numericals. Because of numerical concepts are something different as compared to engineering services examination. Okay, so in theoretical point of view, if you are clear theoretical portions or theoretical questions, then you can solve engineering services objective questions. Clear that point? So that objective questions of IS can be solved in each and every topics. Okay, merchant circle diagram, some important formulas, IS conventional question and GATE MCQ. So GATE numerical questions are completely related to engineering services conventional questions, and GATE theoretical questions are completely related to engineering services objective questions. In production engineering subjects, see carefully. Okay, some important formula, IS conventional questions and GATE MCQ. Next one is power analysis in turning operation and IS conventional question, merchant angle analysis, Lee and Schaefer relation, Stabler relation, specific cutting energy and GATE MCQ. So many concepts are covered in very good manners and effective times. See carefully, because of production engineering subject is very basic fundamental subjects. So if you are studied in very good manners in sequence wise, then you can handle this subject easily. Clear that point? So in pen drive, G drive, BOD users, this table of contents will be very helpful for analysis for GATE examination, how to analyze your concept, how to solve all these concepts, all these problems related to different types of topics. Okay, clear that point? So next one is chapter 2, tool life, tool wear and machinability concepts. That is introduction of tool depth, tool depth. Next one is flank wear stage, crater wear, Taylor's tool life equation. That is very, very important. So in chapter 1, merchant circle diagram is very, very important. First important point. Next one is force analysis is very, very important in merchant circle. Next one is turning operation is very, very important. Okay. Next chapter 2, Taylor's two life equation is very, very important. So Taylor two life equation, modified Taylor's two life equation and economics of metal cutting is also very, very important for GATE exam. Okay. So in upcoming GATE examination, Taylor two life equation are also asking in GATE examination. See carefully. Okay. Next one is machinability concept, cutting fluid and tool materials, and last one is workbook questions. Okay, okay, fine. Next one is chapter 3rd. So chapter 3, that is anti-MM. Anti-MM, that means non-traditional machining method. So different types of non-traditional machining, like first one is electrochemical machining and grinding. So electrochemical machining is very, very important for GATE examination, ECM. So numerical as well as theoretical problem is also important for GATE examination, ECM, electrochemical machining. Okay. So what is the important function? What is the important parameters? What is the basic fundamental concepts? All are covered in chapter number 3rd in non-traditional machining concepts. So ECM part 1, part 2, electrolyte and tool property, advantage and also disadvantage and application is very, very important. Application, ECM, application of ECM. Okay. Next, GATE PYQs, MRR of alloys and GATE PYQ. So see carefully, alloy equation. Alloy equation is also important. Alloy equation is also important in GATE examination. Alloy equation. So in ECM, alloy equation is very, very important. Gram equivalent, how to calculate gram equivalent in different types of alloys. Okay. Next one is over voltage. Next, flow analysis and electrochemical grinding. So all these concepts are covered in very effective times so that you can clear your concept and minimize your time. Next one is electric discharge machining. Next, chemical machining and photochemical machining. This one is also important for GATE examination. Next, laser beam machining, that is LBM. What is LBM? What is the full form of LBM? What is the application of LBM? And next one is electron beam machining, and last one is plasma machining. Next, ultrasonic machining, and next one is AGM, abrasive jet machining, water jet machining, and abrasive water jet machining is also covered in this chapter. Okay. Next, last one is workbook questions are also covered. Next, chapter number 4, ANSI and CNC, numeric control and computer numeric control. So in this chapter, in GATE examination, every year 2 marks questions are there. So every year 2 marks questions are asking in GATE examination. So in this chapter, CNC, ANSI, CNC programming, ANSI, CNC programming questions are asked. So don't miss this chapter. So G code, how to use G code, AM code, and also CAD package. CAD package is also important. CAD package, that means scaling, translation, rotation concept is also important for GATE examination. Clear that point? Okay. So types of loop system, BLU, basic length unit is important for GATE examination. So in upcoming GATE examination, BLU questions are also asking there. Okay. So G code part 1, G code part 2, G code part 3, G code part 4, and introduction of APT language, point, line 1, okay, line 2, plane and circle is also important for GATE examination. But in this chapter, I am focusing about the concept of programming. Programming, it means that G code and AM code. Let us assume that initial point is given, tool initial point is given, final point is given, and we can assume G code are applied, G90 are applied. That means absolute mode of dimensioning. and linear path function. So what is the center, what is the radius, and so on concepts are asking in GATE examination. So this type of questions are very important. And what is the programming format are also asking in GATE examination. Okay, clear that point? Clear that point? Okay, fine. Next, chapter 5. So in chapter 5, medal forming. So chapter 5, medal forming, lecture 1, material. Chapter 5, medal forming. In lecture 1, material strengthening mechanism by dislocation plane. Lecture 2, terminology and plastic deformation, recrystallization temperature and grain growth, strain hardening, malleability, and so many concepts are covered in basis of medal forming. So first of all, you can watch basics of metal forming. After that, you can cover rolling, forging, extrusion, wire drawing, deep drawing, sheet metal, spinning, bending, and so many concept of metal forming. But before this is started, you can cover this concept because these concepts are connected with all this rolling, forging, extrusion, wire drawing, and so many metal forming operations. Okay. So this chapter is also important in rolling operations. Maximum draft reduction is important. Power consumption during rolling operation. Number of passes is also asking in GATE examination. Okay. So torque separating force in low and high friction conditions, torque power calculating, neutral plane is also important, and last lecture 7 PYQ is also important. So all these concepts are covered in very good manners. Okay, next extrusion and drawing. Last one is forging. Next, sheet metal operation and powder metallurgy concepts. So all these concepts are covered in chapter number 5th related to metal forming. Okay, clear that point. Next, chapter 6, welding. So in welding chapter, in GATE examination, 2 to 3 marks. 2 to 3 marks questions are asking in GATE examination. See carefully. One question numerical and one question in theoretical. So one numerical questions are in 2 marks question and one theoretical questions are 1 marks question. So in GATE examination, welding questions are also again and again asking in every years. Clear that point? Okay. So in welding, first one is basis of welding, variability, electric arc welding, concept of constant voltage and current welding machine, heat input and duty cycle, electrode coating, GATE PYQ, arc blow, gas shielding, TIG, MIG, SAW, and AHW. So many different types of welding concepts are covered in very good manners. Believe me, if you are watch all these videos, then definitely you can enjoy. Definitely you can enjoy all these concepts and numericals. Believe me. Clear that point? Okay. Next, chapter number 7, casting. Casting is also important for GATE examination. Again, 2 to 3 marks questions are asking in GATE examination every years. So, in casting, introduction of casting, PYQ, shrinkage allowance, pattern allowance, and PYQ, types of pattern, fluidity. So many concepts are given. But in upcoming examination, which topic is important? First important thing is which topic is important. So important point is types of allowance. First important point, types of allowance. Second, getting design. Getting design is very important. Fluidity concept is very important. Choke area is very important concept. And next one is which product is cast, which different types of casting methods. That is the theoretical point of view. That is very important. Okay. Next, chapter 8, metrology. So in metrology basis, so basic terminology, types of fit. So in types of fit, clearance fit, interference fit, transition fit. Total 3 types of fit are covered in this lecture number 2, that is covered in 26 minutes 41 minutes. limits and fit is very important. Limits and fit, plug and ring gauge part 1, part 2, and special metrology part 1, part 2, and miscellaneous metrology. Miscellaneous metrology, it means that autocollimator, CMM, coordinate measuring machine, profilometer. So all these instruments are given. All these instruments are given in this lecture number 8 in 10 minutes 23 seconds. So a small concept, but this one is important concept for GATE examination and other PSUs examination, that is asking in every years. Next, machine tool. Chapter number 9, machine tool. So in machine tool, first one is lathe machine. Lathe machine tool. So lathe machine tool, lecture 1, basis of lathe, various operation in lathe, machining time, and automatic lathe. Next machine tool is drilling. So in every years, one question are asking either drilling or shaper or drilling or grinding. These three ones. So out of these three, one numericals are asking out of these three. Okay. So drilling, geometry of drill part 1, part 2 are covered in very good manners, in details. Okay. Machining time calculation. So in GATE examination, machining time is asking. Next, milling. So conventional and clean milling, various type of milling operation and machining time calculation. So in milling, see carefully, in milling, up milling and down milling concept is very important for GATE examination. Up milling and down milling. So don't miss this concept. Okay, so up milling and down milling concepts are covered in this conventional and clean milling and various type of milling operations. Okay, next one is grinding operation. Next one is grinding operation, basis of grinding part 1 and part 2. So in grinding, classification of grinding wheel, that is important concept. Okay, and next one is grinding ratio is also very important. Don't miss this topic. Grinding ratio is very important. Okay, next machine tool is ramming, boring and broaching. Ramming, that is good surface finishing. So ramming is used. Okay, boring, broaching. So many machine tool operations or so many boring, drilling or sport finishing concepts are covered in these chapters. Okay, next one is shaper, planer and slaughter. And what is the difference between shaper, planer and slaughter are also asking in GATE examination, as well as machining time. Okay, what is the machining time of shaper for given job? Next, chapter number 10, material science. So material science, 1 marks or 2 marks questions are asked in every years. Or in material science, iron carbon diagram. Problems of iron carbon diagram is asked in GATE examination. So at this time or upcoming GATE examination, the possibility of iron carbon diagrams are important. Okay, so possibility of this problem of iron carbon diagram are there. Clear that point? Okay. So in material science, basic concepts, crystal extractor part 1, part 2, defect like point defect, line defect, surface defect and volume defects are covered in 7 minutes 30 seconds. Iron carbon diagram, heat treatment of metal part 1 and part 2 and hardness test. So out of these three, iron carbon diagram, that means lecture 5, that is very important, or this chapter is covered in only 22 minutes 35 seconds in very good manners. Systematic diagram plus how to calculate percentage of carbon in different types of phases conditions. All are covered in this lecture number 5. Okay, clear that point? So this one is complete analysis, complete coverage analysis, or in which topics are important for upcoming GATE examination. All are covered in this video. So hopefully you can understand. And production engineering subjects is very important for GATE and engineering services and all these PSUs examination. We know that every GATE aspirants, we know GATE or engineering services or other PSUs examination, production engineering subjects is very important because of the weightage of production engineering. the weightage of production engineering is 16 to 20 marks in every year. So don't miss this subject. So analyze all these concepts, and if you are confused in any topics, then you can go to lecture, watch this video, and after that you can solve workbook problems and other questions so that you can clear your concept frequently. Clear that point? Okay? Okay. So thank you so much everyone.